All right, Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to the sincere Akim out there that's laboring and not wavering in his truth and all faith and sincerity. Shalom. Now, I'm going to center this sitting around kingdoms, all right, and the transfer of kingdoms, right? Because one thing about rulership, power is never done away with, it's only transferred. All right? All right. It's always going to be a throne. The only difference is the kings that sit on that throne, which ultimately, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is the decider of who and when they sit in that rulership. And you go into the book of Daniel, when you go into like King Nebuchadnezzar's dream, all right, and the statue, that's basically a timeline. Because the way you gauge time, all right, is by way of rulerships. You had the Babylonian Empire, you had the Media-Persian Empire, the Greeks on up into the Roman Empire, and furthermore, you got these historians and such, they agree that those kingdoms actually existed, which further proves that these holy scriptures is on point. It's real, man, and the one common thread you got with all those kingdoms, which I just mentioned, is the fact that they all had a starting point and they all had an ending. All right? And there's no difference with America, man, and the so-called white man. Because right now the so-called white man is ruling, really, which is NATO, okay? Because the scripture tell you the 10 kings was given 1 hour to rule with the beast. All right? But America is who spearheaded. Okay, that's why you got America, basically America police the world, man. There's a lot of reasons to show you, all right, or a lot of signs that you can't argue against that proves that America and the so-called white man is ruling the world, all right, because I live down here by UAB, all right, which is one of the top medical colleges on the planet, and the main students that go there is a bunch of Africans, so-called Africans, Eastern Indians, a bunch of those Chinese, and shit like that. And why is that? Because in order for them to get any kind of status on this planet, in this world, they got to go through the so-called white man. They got to go through the schooling and the philosophies and drink the wine of the so-called white man. Why? Because this is the so-called white man world. You don't see no Africans going to college in Africa, and hey, to make it in this society, you got to learn English, man. So that proves that the so-called white man is in rulership. But like I was saying, the one common thread that all those kingdoms that I mentioned, the ancient Babylonian Empire, all right, the Media-Persian Empire, the Greeks, even the Assyrians and different nations that had their time to rule, they all had an ending to their rulership. And there's no difference with the so-called white man. And I got news for you. We at the tail end of this man's rulership. And the next rulers, all right, when that power is to be transferred, is going to be the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which is basically the underdogs, man. Because you got nations like China, Russia, they all jockeying for position. They know that America is out of here on a decline. And they feel like they're going to be the next rulers. And basically, just to simplify it, just consider the NBA, all right? The last team, I'm just throw a team out there, just say the Milwaukee Bucks or some shit. They're not on the radar, man, for being NBA champions, all right? And that's the same with our people, all right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the true nation of Israel, nobody got us on the radar as being the next rulers, and that's how Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai set it up, because he deals with drama and that shock value, and that's another reason why our people don't even believe it. They don't believe they ain't got a ruling class mentality. They've been downtrodden so long they don't understand that they're gonna be the next rulers of the planet, and the scripture tells you that. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and go into the scripture. This is the book of Daniel 2:20. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. See? So ultimately, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah is the reason why the so-called white man is in rulership right now. All right? But the scripture tells you in Psalms the 49th chapter, his inward thoughts that he's gonna rule forever. So the so-called white man don't believe that he's going down. All right? Even though the elites know these scriptures, they trying to fight tooth and nail to upset the prophecies because they want to do everything in their power to maintain rulership of the world. All right, I'm going to read that again. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. So we're in the times where that kingdom, these kingdoms, all right, is about to change over. Okay, this is the book of 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the pardon asunder of the times? So Ezra is asking basically, what time, all right, what time frame am I to be looking for these prophecies to come forth? All right? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we all know that we're in the end of the world. We're in the end of days, which proves that the so-called white man is Esau. His biblical nationality is the Edomites. So the scripture tells you Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. Who is Jacob? The nation of Israel. So we're going to be the next rulers. All right? When America get destroyed, it's not going to be, okay, that's it. We're going to go back into so-called primitive ways and have to start over. No. It's going to be it's only going to be a transfer of power. All right? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is taking slowly, surgically, all right, taking that power from Esau and transferring it over to us. And that's how it works. This is all the works of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right? This is Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Yes, so no matter what the so-called white man do, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has set up a bound where he can't pass. And when you go in, like I said, when you go into the book of Daniel and look at that statue, the rulers and the kingdoms, they all had a time where they couldn't pass. All right, when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai set them up, he had a certain day, hour, a minute, a second when their rulership was going to falter. And they was going to come off of that throne and the next ruler was going to sit. All right? And that's what's going to happen to the so-called white man. When he leave out of his throne, we going to sit on that throne, starting with Yahweh Shai, the only begotten son and the elect of the nation of Israel. And the only one thing about our kingdom is it's going to be an everlasting kingdom, man. All right? This is the book of Job 20 and 5. I start at 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphant of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? So this so-called white man, in reality, his rulership is short. All right, the Lord asking you, all right, knowest now this of old? So that's why I brought up Daniel, because when you go back into the old times, the Babylonian Empire had their time to rule, and so on and so forth. Even the wicked, which is the so-called white man, they got their time to rule, but it's going to be short, man, which seems like a long time to us, but with the Heavenly Father, it's not short at all, man. All right? This is Daniel 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. So the Lord give this kingdom to whoever he will, and he set up over it the basis of men. And we know Esau is a base man. The Lord set up Esau, man. And right now we base. We at the bottom. That's how the Lord worked because um, that's balance. Okay, if you on top, you got to come down. If you at the bottom, you got to go up, man. So with that, I hope you was edified. Until the next time, shalom.